Good afternoon everyone, welcome to Live Bird TV from Anfield. So obviously there's news filtering through to me now via my inbox that we're after Gonzalo Ignacio, a centre-back, plays for Sporting Lisbon. And obviously it'd be a deal of around 37.5 million. From what I'm hearing, there'll be a meeting with his representatives in the next, few hours leading on to the next few days. I said that we would have players coming in, I think a couple, which will definitely be happening. I can't see Liverpool signing nobody. Obviously it was a blow with Zubimendi, but at the end of the day, that happens in football. Keep an eye on the groups. I'm going to be doing a video later regarding Ignacio. We'll go through his Wikipedia. I'll be doing that in the next few hours. And then obviously diving into my pre-match for Ipswich on Saturday, which I really can't wait for. So hang in there. I do believe that basically we'll be able to sign at least a couple of players before the end of this window. Let me just show you Anfield before I head off on this breezy day. As you can see, the new away end looks fabulous. For those who have not seen it for a while, I mean, for FSG haters, look at this. All of that is thanks to them as owners, and social media is an absolute cesspit at the moment. For those fans that think that it's our owner's fault that we didn't get Zubimendi, John Henry writes cheques, right, and so do FSG. They just write cheques. There's a budget set every summer. I mean, for God's sake, play Football Manager, you get a budget every summer. If I don't sign a player on Football Manager, is it my board's fault? No, it's my fault because I didn't sign a player. So it's just absolutely stupid, the way people think. I mean, some comments yesterday somebody said where it was, why didn't we get Zubimendi? Because they're not prepared to pay. They were prepared to pay. They just can't force the player. What do you want us to do? Start kidnapping players, sticking them in the boots of cars? Casado would have been a Liverpool player if he'd have said yes. Zubimendi would have been a Liverpool player if he'd have said yes. Enzo Fernandez would have been a Liverpool player if he'd said yes. So would have Tuchemi from Real Madrid. Bellingham. The fact is, we cannot force players to sign for us. Sometimes shit happens, you get players or you don't. But I like it, the fact that people just believe anything. So when we didn't sign Zubimendi, they come out and said that we're quite happy with the squad we've got. Do you think they're going to say anything other than that? Because if they say we're desperate for a number 6 or we're desperate for players, then there goes 20 million, 10 million on each fee. So Liverpool are very clever in the market, and they're very clever at sounding out trickles of information. So when it comes out that they're happy with the squad, that filters round to everybody, and everybody's thinking, well, Liverpool are not really desperate. And I guarantee you they go into these meetings as well, going, right, here's our fee, this is what we believe he is worth, this is what we believe he is worth, and we're not paying over that. We'll walk. So if you come across as desperate, you start ending up like Man United, where you're overpaying for players and you're quadrupling their wages, and then you end up finishing 8th with their worst points total ever in Premier League history. So I always say this, I am not a fucking FSG lover, right? I would like to sign players, but I'm not stupid. I've been involved in football my entire life, right? And I know how it works. You get a budget. Even in the 7th tier, when I worked for AFC Liverpool, you have a budget, right? And you go and live to your means, right? We are not state-owned. We are not funded by oil. We are funded by every fucking pie and every beer that's sold in that stadium behind there, right? And that is a fact. If you want us to start acting like Chelsea and Manchester City and Manchester United, well, I don't. That's your choice as a supporter. But don't start campaigns trying to cause... Every fucking summer we go through this. Every summer it's like a cat and mouse game between FSG out and FSG in. Do you know what FSG want? In. They just want us to be successful, and they will get behind the lads, whatever happens. And we won't cry if we don't sign a player, because we believe we've got a good enough squad. FSG out is a campaign. It's been going on now for years. No matter what we do. Even this season we won the league, we never signed anyone. But you still was doing campaigns. We can't even win leagues and Champions Leagues without you kicking off. So I just look at it like this, right? Slot is a coach. I've actually spoke to somebody that works at the training ground, and he's told me that the players love Slot's coaching. They love it. They love his coaching. But as in terms of the fear factor of him as a manager, he hasn't got it. He's not that type of thing. We have changed our entire module apparently, which is now going to a sporting director in terms of signings will be brought to Slot to coach. That's it. Klopp had a say on transfers. Slot doesn't really. They're not listening to Slot in terms of who he wants. He can have an opinion, but he's not going to be picking his own players. He will coach them. This is a different module that Liverpool are now doing. So get behind the lads. We will sign a couple of players before the season's over. I know it. I generally just know it. I can feel it. Because why wouldn't we? It'd be stupid. Because I still think there's going to be a few more going out. Sepp van der Berg will go if somebody offers 20 million. Nat Phillips will go to Ipswich or probably somebody else if he gets an £8 million bid. There's 2 centre-halves going. So we will go and get Gonzalo Ignacio now. Then that's just got Gomez, Ignacio, Van Dijk, Quansah. That's the 4 centre-halves. And then if I'm missing out one more, I don't know. But obviously Matip's gone now. So we need a centre-half if Van der Berg goes. The goalkeeping situation, I think it's a fabulous signing. He's a phenomenal goalkeeper. He's 23 years old. I actually think that Alisson Becker has said that he's going to leave after next season. I think he's probably going to want to go for a fresh challenge, maybe back to Italy or maybe Brazil. So if you're saying that, you loan this lad back out and then he comes back to be our number one, Kelleher can then move on because he's not going to stay here. So it's smart business. It's nailing a player now before somebody else gets in. So keep the faith, signings are coming, you'll never walk alone.